again, everybody. It's Plowboy's Ghost Channel. Today I wanted to have a small discussion with y'all about something I'm seeing online. You know, a long time after I did that video, what I thought was proving that 40 grains of 3F black powder will fit in a modern 45 Colt cartridge case under a 255 grain bullet. I still see people, mostly it's people on Facebook groups and whatever, and here and there, and still on some forums. Matter of fact, the very forum that I made that video to kind of, I don't know, prove wrong, there's still people who still think that you can't fit 40 grains under a 255 grain bullet in a modern 45 Colt case. And I have even seen people directing some of the naysayers to the video that I made proving that you can, which I'm not the only one that's done it. And I'm not the only one that knows it, not the only one that's used it. I didn't come up with this. But I've seen people try to direct those naysayers, and the naysayers standing their ground belligerently, even making fun of me when they bring up my screen name. And those are the exact kind of peckerheads that I made that video. I was irritated today I made that video. It was at those people. Those are the kind of people I made the video for. Show them they were wrong. Y'all, I seen something else come up, and it was disputing in a Facebook post this morning, disputing the original military load of it being 40 grains under a 250, 255 grain bullet. And I went and I did some research on my own, and I found some articles, even by some well-respected known gun writer here or there, and from a magazine, a well-known handgun magazine, that was making claims, and they're just going ahead and saying outright, no, that was not the original military load. The original military load was 30 grains. Well, as I read, I find that they were referring to someone else's research and work from the 1920s, 1930s, and they even, in this article, admit that the person had, what term did they use? Had hedged around the lines on the dates of the cartridges they had dissected to come up with that, so they didn't really know the exact dates those cartridges were made. And I also found later in that article them quoting someone else as saying that the original military load could not have been 40 grains because the first time they found any reference to 40 grain load was in the 1910 UMC catalog. Well, of course, I had to chime in because I have a hard time holding my tongue. And down in the description below, I am going to link you to a place where you can download these old catalogs going back to the 1860s, actually, of UMC. And as I look through there, I find in UMC, Union Metallic Cartridge Company, I find in the 1880 catalog is the oldest one that's available that lists the load data for the 45 Colts USA, which is 45 Colt. And that one is one cartridge, one loading, 40 grains under a 250 grain bullet, one loading in 1880. It didn't list any of the lower ones. Now later on, after 1900 especially, there might be some before 1900, but later on, I did find where they had the reduced cartridges, the reduced charges of black powder down 30 grains and then something else. But the only one in 1880 was the 40 grain. Now, it's my thinking. First of all, I question these articles because they were drawing upon the work of people long ago, mostly, who even they admit were kind of, coloring outside the lines a little bit to draw their own, looks to me like to come up with a way to validify or verify their own feelings and their own thoughts. And I don't think that's enough. Japanese Zeros, they do this all the time. I don't think that's enough to uproot tradition. And if the oldest UMC, and I know they were talking about Frankfurt Arsenal, I don't know anything about Frankfurt Arsenal's load data, but here's the thing. If UMC in 1880, the one load they're showing for 45 Colt is 40 grains of black powder, of course gunpowder then, under a 250 grain bullet, why would they go to that one loading for their catalogs, of course a civilian catalog, if the military was already using a reduced loading? It don't seem to me that it seems to me that it took time, it took years for UMC to offer the reduced loads. But in 1880, they only offered the full power, full throttle, 40 grain load. That to me says that they were more than likely, once again, this is some opinion based in some research, but there is an amount of opinion in it too. It is my opinion, and I don't want to mislead anybody and say that's absolute biblical fact, because some of it is my opinion, that if UMC, Union Metallic Cartridge Company, was offering a 40 grain load and listing it first, and keep in mind the 1880 catalog is the first year of the UMC catalog that I have access to that lists the charge weights, the load data. Before that, it only lists you know, things like price and maybe however many cartridges was in the case, I don't know. But the first year that they listed the charge data, it was 40 grains. But it seems to me that if UMC is offering that as far back as I can look, that the chances are they were duplicating the load that was most widely available and used probably by the military. That's the way I hold it. And only later started offering the reduced charges, which of course later on the military used reduced charges. Don't know what year they adopted it. Some of my friends on 11 Bang Bang and Snappers, Antique Firearms Unlimited, y'all, and there's a few others I've seen them y'all talking to too that I know are more knowledgeable about some of the historical aspects of in the years and the dates. But what I see and what irritates me is that there's a whole lot of people on Facebook, and there's quite a few of them on YouTube too, who are answering questions which they should be asking someone who knows more than them, instead of answering for people and misleading them. But y'all, that's prevalent. That's how people get off track, and how we believe a lot of things that aren't true, like the only way to load, well, you know, load one, skip one, load four, the only way to do it, that's the way they did it, you know, all that crap. I just get sick and tired. I know this is a little bit of a rant, but I get sick and tired of people taking something they believe, whether or not it's true, and just presenting it as fact. There's a lot of things that y'all have seen on my channel that are my opinion, and I'll try to make sure that I tell you that it's my opinion, you know, and if I know it to be a fact, I'll tell you it's fact. I'm always open to discussion. I'm open to having my eyes open, but y'all, you know, for some like cases like this and this little argument about the historic load and UMC not offering it until 1910, those people are going to have to do a lot better than that. Anyway, still in October, I'm feeling festive, so this is October festive, and I will talk to y'all real soon. Thanks for watching.